Well, hello everyone. How are you doing today? Today is a quick live. I have been putting up off doing this live for like the longest time. And there was and I've been feeling in my heart to do it forever, right? So today I finally decided to go ahead and do it. I wanted to speak to there's a situation that goes on with a lot of women when you've given yourself to a man, when you've given your heart to a man. And I want you to understand the influence of past trauma that was passed down from generation to generation to generation. When we approach situations in our lives, especially when it comes to our finances, especially when it comes to our love lives, mainly what we're going to address today is our love life, because during one of my book signings, one of the questions that came up and that was causing a stir was the fact that how do you get out of a relationship when you're not married and you've bore two children for this person and you want to make sure that your kids are okay, right? So you basically are staying because your children are okay. So this is what I want to speak to you about. One thing that you must recognize in the midst of all of the chaos that's happening right now with you and the emotions that you're trying to shelter your children from, your children are so connected to you that they already know what's up, right? As a matter of fact, you'd be surprised that some of them may be wondering, why haven't you left yet? But I want you to start doing the work on yourself to find out, how did you get yourself in this position, in this situation in the first place? Is it a cultural thing? Is it a mental thing that in your culture, most women, that's the situation they find that it's normal? Has it been embedded in you that this is okay for you to live like this, for you to accept it? Do you love yourself? Do you understand what it is to love yourself? So many different things go on when it comes to dealing with a situation like this. But the first thing that I want you to understand is you've got to get to know the mechanism of you, of who you are. You've got to stop and look at the patterns, the traumatic patterns, the life changing patterns. If you don't know them and you have family members who are still alive, ask them questions. Ask them if there are any family members that they can remember of from your great grandmother, or maybe a aunt, uncle, cousin, great uncle, great cousin, who actually have been in the situation that you are in and died in a situation that you are in without any resolution. That's the first thing. Because then you have to realize that there are patterns, there are rhythmic patterns, generational, vibrational, rhythmic patterns that emotionally gets themselves connected in your cell. Believe it or not, this person passes down their generational issues to your mother, who in turn passes it down to you. So you're wondering, well, how come this situation is repeating itself? The emotional part, first you have to understand, you've got to understand how God sees you, created you, loves you. This machine that we call the body is very much so alive. And it's alive because there's something in it called the Shi. That's what they call it in China. Other people call it spirit, other people call it the breath of life. You have to understand that this particular entity that you are in, called the body, once it's activated by you getting life from your mom, and all the genes, all the blood cells, whatever issue that she was going through when she was pregnant with you, whatever issue that your grandmother was going through when she was pregnant with your mother, whatever issue that your great grandmother was pregnant with when she was going through when she was pregnant with your grandmother, all of those things are passed down. And it's not, generationally speaking, if you want to break this, you've got to identify with these various patterns that are living and alive in your DNA. Once you realize that, you've got to understand who you are as a human being, as a woman, your worth. Do you value yourself? Because if you don't understand that you are the hand of God, because God took his hand and made you, okay? For many of us who believe in the Christian belief, we believe that uh, he made us from the rib of the man, right? Specially made. So we weren't made from mud like the male was. We were made from his rib, which means there's a special connection that should be between a man and a woman. So if you are in a situation where you're literally just surviving because you have a need for what your mind or your body or your instincts are telling you is love, but yet that's not what you're getting. You're actually getting rejection because that's what you're used to. Look at your pattern, the pattern from your relationship with your mother, your relationship with your father. When was there a break? When was there a break between your mother or your father making you feel and believe that you are worth it to be a loved wife, that you are worth it for someone to give a damn about what happens to you, what happens to the children that you created with them. But most importantly, you, the essence of you. Why is it so hard for them to love you? The thing is, you've got to really stop and think and ask yourself, do you believe you need to be loved? Do you believe that you deserve the kind of love that you're looking for? Because a lot of times our subconscious minds lets us reenact what we truly believe. So we're drawing to us these relationships where the men will not marry us, they will have children with us, and then have 10,000 other women. I'm exaggerating, but a few other women while they're with us. Sometimes they have other lives. And it really is the energy that we're giving out. If we are in love with ourselves and we know that we are worth it, we would not be in a situation like this. And you have to actually be truthful with yourself and ask yourself that question. When I was faced with that question, I'm not in a situation like that. I've never been in a situation like that, but I've always had the mindset that I will not be involved with anyone who thinks that having another woman is a normal thing, because in our society there are different cultures. They let the young women know that, you know what, when you get married, just expect your husband's going to have another woman on you, and this is something that's normal. Okay, so I refuse to believe that. So thank God I've never really attracted men who I put myself in a situation where I would be cheated on. But one thing is, I've attracted men who were unavailable. And I kept saying to myself, why do I keep attracting these men who are unavailable? Not to say I was getting into any relationship with them or whichever. And when I was speaking to one of my mentors, he basically was like, it's you. You're the reason. Because um, I was getting upset over what he was saying. Like, what do you mean I'm the reason? I mean, who would want to be in a situation like that? Come on. There are many single available guys out there. Um, it cannot be me. So I didn't understand what he was actually trying to tell me. So when I went into meditation, and I really went into deep meditation and really silenced myself, really what I made it a connection with was my subconscious mind. And what came across to me was what I felt about myself. And what really came across concerning what I felt about myself was exactly that. I am not good enough to be in a relationship with a man who 100% values me, because I don't feel like I deserve to be loved. So, after doing a lot of work in understanding where I disconnected with that part of me that deserves that. And it has to do with a lot of generational um, misconceptions and connections. Come to find out that my mother felt the same way about herself. Come to find out that my grandmother felt the same way about herself. So there's a lineal pattern that was going to continue in me. So I'm sharing this to really help you understand that you've got to do the work. Because once you're in a situation where you feel like something is wrong here, you feel like I want to leave, and you're making excuses because that is an excuse that you're making by saying, well, the children are involved and I want them to have a father. Now, look at the situation. Is this situation benefiting your children, or are you introducing your children to a negative pattern? What exactly has your partner, this particular partner that you're with, what exactly, especially if you have a son or a daughter, what exactly are they teaching them? Aren't they teaching your son that it's perfectly okay to be with someone, by the way they're treating you, to be with someone and mistreat them, take advantage of them, um, have children with them, and not commit? Is that what you want for your son? If you have a daughter, aren't they telling your daughter that it's perfectly okay to be not? Here's the thing. Do you want your daughter to end up with a man like her father? Unfortunately, we always say yes, but in a situation like this, think about it. Because if you do not remove them out of the situation and start doing the work with them and break the cycle, she's going to end up with someone just like the man that you're trying to run away from. So, getting back to our worth and who we are, your body as a woman, meaning a man who carries a womb, is precious. But the ideals that have been ingrained in your mind has to be what you must now decode and renew. You've got to renew your mind. You've got to renew how you think about yourself. You've got to understand your importance, especially if you have a career, you're managing the home. Why are you dealing with a person who's a man who's disrespecting you in such a way that he treats you as if you're his concubine, right? Whenever he wants to come in, he comes in. Whenever he wants to leave, he leaves. And you're still living in the same place, right? You have children together, but he doesn't see that it should be honorable enough for his children to see his father, their father, married to their mother. And yet you're taking pity, really. It really has nothing to do with your children in all sincerity. It's you trying to find, number one, you're taking pity on him because you feel bad. So you're trying to really extend the fact that you want to stay there and help him out, right? You want to be, it's a syndrome, right? You want to be a rescuer. Well, he cannot be rescued. He already knows how he is. He already knows what he wants to do. Now we have to focus on you. Do you want to rescue yourself? If this is not a situation where you find your children can be in, and the fact that you asking the question is telling you that you know this is not a situation that your children should be in. So when are you going to take the time to re-educate yourself, to put all that energy that you've given to this person back into you so that your children can see your light again? Your children can feel your love again. Because I can guarantee you right now, there's a disconnection between you and your children. There's a disconnection between you and life because you're not happy. So there's a lot of things in life, that you want that's not going to come to you because right now your heart is hurting. The scriptures say it is completely understood that what as your heart is, that is how your life is going to be. So answering this question, I really want a lot of you women out there to really start loving yourself and understand that you do not deserve to be in a situation like this. You deserve so much more, and so much more is available to you out there. You've just got to really go in, deal with the pain. Like you have to gird your loins, right? In my country, they say "marireon," right? You got to get yourself ready financially to get out of this situation, establish a home for your children, get yourself mentally, psychologically ready in order before you leave, in order for you to leave, get the help psychologically, get teaching on how to handle your finances, um, set up something that's going to be concrete, mainly financially, right? Get an apartment and move out. Because I can guarantee you, you moving out, first of all, if he comes after you, is because you're someone he's used to. He's just used to having you around. Because in all reality, you've got to really face the fact if he really wanted you, he would have already put a ring on it. Not only would have already put a ring on it, you would have not been feeling the way that you're feeling right now. Even though there may be arguments or just hiccups in the relationship, when a man really loves a woman, he always makes sure that she feels assured that he's not going to go anywhere. When a man's heart is for a woman, he takes care of her, especially after she gave birth, because there's a deeper connection there. So you've got to grow. And I'm sorry that I'm saying this, it's going to be painful, but it is a step that you must take because you are holding back on receiving the best life that God has for you, the best life that's available for you. So know that you are more, it's like right now, he's literally treating you. Um, I don't even want to say as an open gate because that's what it is. You're in the house whenever he wants some, he's friendly to you. And whenever he doesn't, he goes to somebody else and he's not friendly to you anymore. So you need that person. You need to really get yourself together. You really need to start doing the inner work, get reconnected. So, right now, I would encourage a lot of you to really stop and start doing the inner work with yourselves to really get to know yourself, deal with past trauma, strengthen yourself. Um, just remove all of the desires that you've ever had about making this relationship work. Because if it is for you, for this relationship work, with or without you, it will work. If it is not, with or without you, it will not work. It really does not need your help. But what you need right now is to make yourself healthy again, is to get that love spark about you back again. All that energy that you gave to that person. It's like the sexual energy by intercourse and not having children, all that was sapped from you from this person. Because I can guarantee you, you take a good look at yourself in the mirror. I bet you look like you're an old, ragged, tired woman. Take a good look at him. He's probably looking very young, healthy, and happy because he's absorbing all of your energy and all of the energy of these other women. Now, there's a lot of things that people don't understand about this sexual energy when you are intimate with someone and their intentions when they're being intimate with you. Their intentions will pull out the best from you if their intention is selfish. If their intention is selfless, they will put in something in you where there's a good exchange, where you'll look happy, free, you will look loved. So, I'm going to deeply dive into this to tell you that you've got to love yourself. You have to understand these concepts about love, about life, about when you're intimate with someone, sexually speaking, what is involved in it? What do you want? Is that what you want? You want someone to constantly be taking from you sexually, which is spiritually, and not putting back what they've taken from you? While you're stuck as if you're a used rag. So every time he needs to come, whichever to you, he comes, sucks your energy, and then leaves, and you're not happy. Even you need to satisfy that part of you that is telling you something is off. So, ladies, honor, I would say turn around and speak to yourself and make a covenant with yourself that you're going to get yourself healthy and you're going to renew your connection with yourself, connecting with your children, making yourself healthy so that you can have a better relationship and connection with the source of life and bringing in the good life that you want for your children. So, if what I'm saying resonated with you, please hit the like button and share it with a lot of the women that you know need to hear this, because I know as women we're givers. We will give so much of our lives, of ourselves, and throwing ourselves at these men, um, for the sake of having someone there, but not understanding that there's a greater purpose when you have dignity in who you are, when you love who you are. These men will definitely turn around and start honoring you as the woman that you are. Because once you need that honor that is yours by right, right? It is yours by right because you are so sacred that life comes through you. And these men need to understand that. They need to understand when you care for them, when you love them, when you worry, when you cry, when you feed them. Excuse me, when you're even arguing, that all of that is your energy that's being spent, and that's your time. All these things are precious and all these things are sacred, and it's vice versa also. You must understand that when you find someone who does that for you, you'll understand not to take advantage of them. So I would never encourage, well, especially you're not married. um my first thing is love yourself first, but know how to love yourself. I'm not talking about a selfish love. I'm talking about a genuine self-help love and reconnecting with that part of yourself that is valuable, your spirit, getting into the subconscious mind, decoding all that negativity that you've gotten from the past, understanding your connection to the past, and coming up with devising a plan that's going to work in order for you to concretely, freely, peacefully free yourself from the situation. You must first be free here and in your heart, and then the rest will follow. So, my friends, love yourselves and know that you're worth it. The fact that you asking the question, the fact that you are uneasy, that's your sign to let you know something is off and that you deserve better and that better is waiting for you. So I hope this video was an encouragement. Please leave your comments below. Please share the like and um, please hit the like and share button and share it with a woman who you know needs to hear this. You can reach out to me in the comment. I can mentor you one-on-one to help you step by step deal with certain situations. So feel free to do that. And I'm expecting to hear great news. So please share in the comment what you think about this. Thank you.